Hey there! So today we have another review. This is a beer from Deschutes. How the hell did this make it to the market? So this is from Deschutes. They're out of Bend, Oregon. In the continental U.S., you probably couldn't have a larger or further brewery than where I am in Central Florida. Yet somehow they're distributing all the way down to Florida, which is pretty dope. This is a brewery that I never, ever, ever would have guessed to come down to Florida. Like, just out of all the breweries that we could get, hell, I don't get Westbrook, which is out of Charleston, South Carolina, right? Not consistently. And somehow we're getting like freaking Bend, Oregon Deschutes. All right. Anyway, this, by the way, Deschutes is one of the largest breweries, craft breweries left. Sierra Nevada's there. Almost all the big guys are sold out. So, it's, really cool to see Deschutes still alive. This is their classic Black Butte Porter, a significant classic beer, one that I really haven't studied much because I've had it like once or twice. I can remember I've had it once, Philly Beer Week, like before I was even doing reviews, and then I had it when I was in Seattle, and that was like literally almost a decade ago. So 5.5%, not a big guy, and yeah, the style is pretty interesting. There's a range of flavors. Having had, I think before Advanced Cicerone, I did Sierra Nevada Porter, Anchor Porter, and then Founders Porter. Founders Porter is really pretty much an American stout. This is more of a classic porter. Pouring out, it pours out in a brown color, but in the glass, it's a deep brown. It's not really black. Yeah, you definitely see some ruby edges. So maybe a little bit darker than Guinness, but not completely black. Wonderful tan head on that. Yeah. Smells familiar. Light roasty character. Almost has this like Tootsie Roll thing going on. Light char. Almost like smells like instant coffee, right? Instant coffee, definitely nuttiness, hazelnut, roasted hazelnuts, a little bit of milk chocolate action. Red fruit in here, so I get like dried craisins and raisins. Smells nice. Cheers. 5.5, not a big guy. Whereas Founders Porter is like 6.5, which is like sort of like the peak of the top of the ABV range for the style. Yeah, just really nice, kind of drinkable. 5.5 beer, roasty, quite aqueous in the middle. Up front, it's with that dried fruit again. There's raisin, craisins, a little bit of like a dried dates, red fruit character, dried fruit character. Nice kind of milky chocolate character in the middle. A little bit of touch of like a sweet kind of syrupy, dark brown sugar flavor, right? If you can make like brown sugar syrup, or caramel. Mid palate has this really nice kind of like roasty, toasty edge to it. So almost like a hazelnut black cold brew thing going on. Restrained on bitterness for sure. I've definitely had more bitter porters out there. Really nice complexity for a beer that's only 5.5. The combination of nuttiness, chocolate, coffee, dried fruit characteristics, decent body, like medium body for a 5.5 beer, not thin. Quite nice. I mean, that's a crusher. A little bit of this kind of like milk stout, kind of like creaminess and sweetness in the middle that really builds, again, more complexity to this beer. Really nice. I'm impressed. Again, if you're looking for something that's more sessionable, around 5.5%, nice dark beer, you're going to have a hard time finding a beer that's more complex in roast character. And yeah, so really nice stuff. For me, if you're going to give me dark beer, like, I'm not the biggest Guinness guy. I'm actually not a big fan of Guinness. For me, when you hit roast, oh wow, that's the other thing I noticed. There's a good amount of residual sweetness on this beer as I'm speaking, and there's sugar left on the palate. So I think that's how this beer is able to build so much complexity in body. There's a good amount of sugar left in this beer. It's not a bone dry beer. It's got a little bit of like residual sweetness. Very nice, very nice. Going back to it, I personally prefer, like, if you're, maybe I'm just picky and blah, blah, but if you hit me with certain colors and ABVs and styles, there's always a preference that I go. And with darker beers, for me, like the floor is gonna be like something like Founders Porter, and then I'm like cool with like tropical stout, like Lion Stout. I think it's like 7-8%, and then I'm a big fan of Imperial Stout. Just like the roasty characteristics I find work well at higher ABV. Same thing for the fact that like session IPAs just don't hit the spot for a lot of people because hoppy beers sort of work at like floor for me is about like 6.5 ish, and then moving up. Not to say there's like not great beers. That's absolutely insane to say. Like there's great beers throughout the ABV range, and this is a great beer at under 6% for a dark beer. But my personal preference sort of flies a certain way. But yeah, this is really good. Yeah, really cool to have this in the market. Yeah, it's really tasty. Style 93. That's a Deschutes Black Butte Porter. Just a really wonderful, sessionable, kind of like dark, roasty beer. Actually, with the sessionability and the repeatability, high utility on this guy. Like, if you're really looking for roast and don't want something to crush your palate, the amount of complexity of this beer is fantastic. Let's go bump it up to 94. Cheers. Black Butte. Now it's a distributor in Florida. Deschutes. Cheers, guys.